Okay, this is a part 2 video of the Airbus 320 making an ILS approach and landing at Toronto Lester B. Pearson International Airport. So we've just been given our instructions from air traffic control to descend and maintain 2,600 and expect ILS runway 33R approach. So the first thing I want to explain when you're going to do an ISL approach, this is your speed indicator, this is your heading, and this is your course. This is the auto throttle switch. It has to be on for the speed to be active, and this switch has to be on. This is your altitude, and that has to be on. When you click these on or off, you'll notice that over here, for example, it'll go off if I take it off pause. Put it back on. Okay, so this indicates that your speed is set, your altitude, and your heading, and we're on autopilot. So this has to be on for the plane to be on autopilot. You're also going to want to have your ILS switch on. I'm going to hit this switch, the nav hold switch, as we get close to the runway. So that pretty much explains your controls here on the main dash. Also, you want to be on nav, not GPS. So now how do we set up for runway 33? This is the GPS, which I have opened up and downsized. So let me just show you how you'll get that up if you're not familiar. The menu bar, you want to have the menu bar on. So there it goes up there. And you view the GPS by clicking on or off. So once you have that on, we're going to select our runway. So we're going to hit the procedure page display. It's going to ask us to select an approach. We're going to hit enter. And now we have to go down to runway 33 right. So I'm going to use the larger knob here to dial that in. So we have that highlighted now. Now press enter. Now vectors, do you want to enter? Yes, enter. And do you want to load or activate? Well, we're close to the airport, so we're going to activate. And then we're going to hit the procedure page display button again, twice. And now we can see our runway right here. It's just highlighted in red. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to get the frequency for that runway. So the way to do that is go to World, Map, and we're going to have to zoom in on the airport. Toronto Lester B. Pearson International. Okay, so there's 33 left, 33 right. Click on 33 right, write down the frequency 110.3 and the course heading of 327, and then it's runway 33. So you want to record that on a piece of paper. Go back here, and now we're going to enter that information. So the course heading was, let me just check again, 327. So that's entered. And now we want to call up the radio stack. And we want to set this to nav1. And let me just get that cursor in the proper spot. So we need 110.30. And now this is the standby frequency. This is the active, so we're going to swap. And now this is the active frequency. So on our primary flight display here, you can see we have our speed, altitude, heading set, and there's our pitch up. On our multifunctional display, you can see our current heading. So we've been given instructions here to turn right 300. So I'm going to do that now before I release the pause. And we're going to get set up for our approach. So we have all the information in now we need for the computers on the plane to pick up and approach the runway. So I'm going to acknowledge that clearance.
Turn right heading 300, descend and maintain 2,600, cleared ILS, runway 33, right approach, maintain 2,600 until established, tower on 118.35, Airbus Sierra Alpha.
So you saw there I just reduced the altitude to 2,600. Turning towards the runway now, and we're 15 miles out, or nautical miles, and about 4 minutes. I'm going to reduce the speed to 170 right now, and our altitudes come down on the tape. And the plane is leveling off. Okay, so let's take a look at the plane. So it's flying now on autopilot. There's the airport over there. Okay, so I am now going to put on the nav hold switch, and the plane should now pick up the runway on its own and turn towards the runway. You saw that the heading hold switch went off when I did that. Okay, you can feel the plane turning now on its own, lining itself up with the runway. I'm going to reduce the speed to 160. Lower the landing gear. I'm going to lower the flaps. Once, twice, 3 times. Okay, I'm now going to put approach hold on. So the plane on its own should pick up the guide slope for the runway when it gets close enough. notice that the switch went off, the nav hold switch, when I hit the approach hold. We are now 3 nautical miles out, 1 minute. So the plane should pick up the glide slope very shortly. There it goes right now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce the speed to 150. And we're going to go outside and watch the plane land. So what you want to be able to see is the 2 white lights and the 2 red. It means we're right on track for that runway, 33 right. I'm going to be taking off the autopilot and the auto throttle when we land on the tarmac. And I'm also going to be braking and doing reverse thrust. I'm also going to put on the spoilers. So I have a button on my keyboard programmed in or on my joystick. So if I hit that, the spoilers are armed. So it looks like we're coming in for a pretty good approach and landing. So I'll be shutting off the speed. Make sure that you don't have your throttle up on your joystick. When it touches down, or the plane will continue to accelerate. So we want the auto throttle off. Just pull off here and contact air traffic control.
Toronto ground, Airbus Foxtrot Mike Sierra Alpha Bravo, taxi to the gate. Airbus Foxtrot Mike Sierra Alpha Bravo, taxi to gate Bravo 8, using taxiway Bravo 2, Alpha Tango. Taxiing to gate Bravo 8, using taxiway Bravo 2, Alpha Tango. Airbus Sierra Alpha Bravo.
So, turned on progressive taxiing. Go over to the gate and see if there's a gate we can bring over to the plane. And also open the door to the plane for passengers to deplane. You have to line yourself up pretty close to the gate if you want the gate to come over to the plane. And unfortunately, there's no gate here. And I don't know if we go around whether there's one there or not. I'll go around this and see, but I doubt it. No, okay, so not going to be able to show you how to bring the gate over because they took us to a gate that doesn't have one of the ramps. But at any rate, if you're not totally lined up with the gate, when you get there, you can do a Shift P to push back and line yourself up again. So it's Shift P on the keyboard. And the other thing is you can bring the gate over to the plane by pressing Control J. So that ends our tutorial on landing the Airbus 320 using ILS.